Hey guys, welcome back to Batstone. I'm your host Firebat, and here with me is Zalay.
Greetings.
We are here at the final match of the day between the lone Druid, Strifecrow, the guy making Druid work without Innervate, props to him, up against the Smork Master of EU. You know, we still have Chalky, the Smork Master of NA, but the Smork Master of EU seems to be Super JJ with the all-Smork lineup. Let's see. How do you think the Smork's going to line up against the Druid?
I'm a big fan of the Smork. I felt like it was kind of a favorite just going into the tournament at the start of the day, and I don't think that's necessarily changed here.
Even though Strifecrow's got like a way different lineup than any of the other players have had thus far.
I don't trust the Druid. The Druid's deck is like good against a lot of the control decks, but I don't really trust it against other aggressive decks. Like the Darnassus Aspirant and the Savage Roar feel like maybe they're a little bit weaker than some other cards in other aggressive decks.
But Living Roots is still so good for trading up against these aggressive hunters and the aggressive paladin. I think really the big question mark for me
don't have Innervate.
Is I don't know how this Aggro Paladin is going to get a win. I think the Aggro Paladin is sketchier than the Druid is, and I think that's going to be one of the difference makers. But yeah, anyway, let's take a quick glance at all the cards in the format that are banned. Just go over that one more time for anyone that's just tuning in just to watch the finals. But these are all of the cards that have been banned. So put that in mental memory when you're freaking out. Like, why is there no Doomhammer? This is why it was banned. So these are cards that the players can no longer play, which is why there's so many weird decks and so many crazy things going on. And why it's kind of been like a Murloc Paladin meta, I'd say. And everything's been centered around countering Murloc Paladin or being Murloc Paladin. So it's interesting how that's shifted. And a lot of the times, a lot of players brought Mage, but Mage has been the #1 ban of the tournament. Mage has been banned almost every single round. Both players' Mages are banned this round. The fear of Tempo Mage is just too high. Even though the one time Tempo Mage saw play when it wasn't banned, it took 3 games for it to finally get a win. So no one's really been brave enough to test the theory of is Mage overhyped or not. And even in the finals, they're not going to test that theory. They're going to stay true to their guns, stick with the plan that got them to the finals, just ban Mage. Let's not experiment with what that is. And just stay true to what they've been doing. So the lineup-wise, we got Strifecrow with the Druid, of course. He's got the Reno Lock. He has got the Murloc Paladin. And then Super JJ has the Shaman, which has just been crushing it. He's got the Aggro Hunter, which has been kind of struggling a little bit. It's like the Aggro 50-50 Hunter. Yeah.
It's been surviving with bad draws, I would say, which is like not a bad place to be, right? Like winning half your games with pretty bad draws.
Okay. And then he has his own Paladin, which you see here is the aggressive variant of Paladin. You got the Divine Favors, Selfless Hero, a lot of buff cards in there. And then both players brought Mage, which you can see is banned on the classes below their name.
Keeping Divine Favor off the mulligan. Finally, this is Divine Favor's chance to shine, right? He's been drawing a lot of it in this tournament, and it's been pretty awkward, but that's just kind of unlucky. Like, it's overall a good card in the deck in the metagame. It's just kind of like the matchups he was getting, it was mostly not as good. But here, this matchup, he really wants it. He'll keep it off the mulligan. It's such like a slow, like late game card, but it's so good in the matchup.
It's going to allow him to repopulate after this Pyromancer Equality from Strifecrow. But if you're talking about good hands, though, this is a good hand. Like,
yeah, no
kidding. Get much better than this as anything Paladin. You definitely want Pyro Equality, and he's even got the 2-drop and 3-drop in a deck that really doesn't run too many 2s and 3-drops.
Yep, and then if that hand like runs out of stuff to do because it's 4 cards that are like pretty cheap and don't draw cards, well, you have Curator, draw 3.
Coin Bluegill Warrior out there just taking care of the Selfless Hero. So the
Death Rattle.
Yeah, he doesn't want Super JJ getting bubbles on his minions that can help him play around Pyromancer Equality. So I don't hate it. I don't know if I necessarily would have went for that play. I think it's really aggressive to clear, but maybe it works out for him. Maybe it's correct. It's really hard to say. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I probably would not have done that, but I don't want to say that I don't dislike it or anything. I thought it was just a really interesting play. So JJ is probably just slamming 2 1-drops.
Oh yeah, as aggressive as possible for sure. The coin's out of the way, so Pyromancer coin doesn't clean this up. So I feel a
Hero Power contests pretty well.
Yeah, Hero Power really does. But if your opponent's just Hero Powering, this Divine Favor is really picking up some value. Yeah, what did he draw though? Ooh, Horse Rider's pretty good.
Clippy Cloppy. So if we trade, Consecration's not coming down yet. There's Pyromancer Forbidden Healing is a potential play that would punish us for trading with the Horse Rider.
Yeah, I don't really like trading. You're trading to preserve. You're trading 2 damage to preserve 2 damage, right? So like, you're not really making up ground very quickly on it. And
oh, he would have got there. Played around it successfully.
Yeah, good read by Super JJ, just making sure he has a bunch of minions on the board. Keeping this Divine Shield around helped him play into this War Leader very effectively as well. He's able to get that Argus down very cleanly. That had to be in the back of his mind when he was setting up, because Murloc Paladin only has 1 turn 3 play. It's or 2, I guess. Acolyte of Pain, which you want to get that guy up to 3 attack, or the other play would then be the Murloc War Leader, which is a 3/3. So you want to get that guy up to 3 attack as well. So just good positioning there by JJ, setting up, recognizing things, and here
I like the
comes
Spiral quality. Clear 8 attack from the board, curving into Azure Drake next turn. It's a bit of a scary spot because it does mean that he just gets to develop on an empty board, and we're not going to be answering any of it, so it's going to be hitting us. But
yeah, and Divine Favor comes out now. 3 mana, draw 3. It's good.
It's not spectacular.
Yeah, it's not like
it's just good.
Well, oftentimes the Murloc Paladin is going to be stuck with cards in their hands that aren't Pyro quality, right? You expect them to have some of their bigger cards in their hands, so you expect to get better value out of it. So
Koda's nice.
Oh, and it hits the best minion. Man. Yeah. I mean, Strifecrow is doing it right, man. This is how you Murloc Paladin.
Yeah, there's just not much pressure coming out from JJ because he's struggled to stick a board because Strifecrow's just had such a good draw, right?
Yeah, he's just had perfect answers all the way through.
Finally, something sticks around. Solemn Vigil a bit late. It was much better on like a Pyro quality turn.
Ivory Knight for the extra healing, and he's already got the Forbidden Healing in hand, so he's going to be able to just pile on the life gain.
Yeah, Leroy's not what you want against this amount of healing.
No, but I mean, the Argent Horse Rider is definitely like probably one of the best top decks there. You have like a really resilient board now, a lot of pretty high health minions and Divine Shields out there, and getting through like a respectable amount of damage. Look at there's 10 on the board with the Leroy in hand. That's 16.
Kodo was a terrible draw, assuming he's playing Curator this turn, because now he's not going to draw a beast off the Curator. It's like he just skipped his draw for the turn, assuming he's playing Curator, which he may not be. Yeah, it looks like he's thinking about clearing some power with the Kodo. It is a pretty high value Kodo right now. A lot of times Kodo is just going to be hitting a hero power for the rest of the game.
Sure.
So, I don't know. That Curator is awfully tempting to me.
Yeah, same. It's tough.
Hit the worst target.
Close to the edge.
Like if you don't Curator on 7, it just gets harder and harder to play it.
Oh, there it is.
Wow. Well,
honestly,
figured this one out.
That was like the best Murloc Paladin draw you could possibly hope to get against aggro, aside from, Doomsayer being in there somewhere. So other than that, the draw from Strifecrow wasn't really getting much better. So this Aggro Paladin deck by Super JJ, which didn't have the most spectacular draw in the world, put in really good work.
Just crushed him.
He probably tested it against Murloc Paladin and realized that it's really good against Murloc Paladin. That has to be one of the targets of your lineup, right? Every player has been expecting Murloc Paladin, and Super JJ took anti-Murloc Paladin in a different direction than Chalky took anti-Murloc Paladin.
It's funny, when I was thinking about what I would bring to this tournament, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to bring Murloc Paladin. I was like, well, I definitely want Shaman and Tempo Mage. And then is Murloc Paladin good against this stuff, or
no?
I mean, but it is like such a strong deck in general, and you have to bring 2 more decks after Tempo Mage and Shaman, and like you're banning probably the Shaman in my eyes, apparently the Tempo Mage in everyone else's eyes. And so at that point, maybe the Murloc Paladin gets good, right? Like you have one bad matchup and then maybe one good matchup. I don't know. So Tummeltrog for JJ.
I'm not sold on this Murloc. I think Murloc Paladin was the biggest mistake for like every player in this tournament so far. Like that has been the weak spot in every single player's lineup, which is the funniest thing to me because it is a completely standard deck. The bans didn't affect it at all. And it has been the weakest by far deck in every single player's lineup. So aside from the priests that a few players brought.
But that has a lot to do with the metagame and the fact that it was targeted a lot in this metagame, which didn't necessarily have to be the case, right? It's not like it's inherently bad in the metagame. It's just like people were expecting it and prepared for it, and that made it bad.
Well, you gotta expect people to expect and prepare for it, right?
I expected people to expect and prepare for Shaman, and that didn't happen at all.
I guess that's true. I was expecting people to ban Shaman.
It depends. Yeah, well, that's what I meant. but it didn't happen, right?
So
like, I guess I don't know to what extent they were all talking to each other about this tournament, and their like preparation sort of overlapped. Sort of a weird thing.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy that so many players relied so heavily on Warlock Paladin this tournament.
So Lesser Heal or Totemic Call. Lesser Heal is like a strictly better armor up because you don't care about going above 30. Lesser Heal lets you like
play at AoE,
threaten to heal your guys after value trading, right?
Sure, yeah.
But I don't know. I might have Totemic Called for the turn 2 hero power. I'm not sure.
Well, he's able to pick up a turn 2 play here, so
yeah, that's well. Now you're probably happy that you have the Priest Heal, I would guess. Are we clearing that thing to prevent like Flame Tongue plays, or are we just developing a 3/2?
I like developing a 3/2 stealth, sinking 1 damage into the Tunnel Trog so that you could potentially roots it on a following turn, but I don't see any reason to expend your whole turn removing it, you know?
When you sink a damage in, it opens up Spirit Clauses. Like, you can potentially roots it on a future turn anyways. You don't have the Druid hero power anymore. Like, if he's going to Flame Tongue and trade, you can roots it anyways.
Yeah, I was real afraid of the Coin Feral Spirits, but I guess that doesn't matter, you're right. Like, then you can just roots it if he chooses to trade with it.
So here, Savage Roar, not at its best when you're fighting for board the whole game. Shamans should be a pretty big favorite, especially with this draw, right? Like Spirit Claw. Yeah, this is such a good Shaman draw for JJ. Yeah, I like Mounted Raptor trade. What else can you do? I don't like it, but I think it seems like it has to be the play.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. I don't think there's much else you can really do.
And then Spirit Claws comes down, potentially eats the Death Rattle portion of that Mounted Raptor.
Oh, nice. Going with the roots there, trying to minimize some damage here.
Yeah, it's a much worse tempo play. Like, if he had gone with the Mounted Raptor, then next turn he could Living Roots and Savage Roar or Living Roots or plus a more expensive top deck.
But it's a better value play because your opponent's overloaded for 2, so they can only play Lightning Bolt, Rockbiter, or Spirit Claws. And by playing the minion, you play into all of those. So although you're surrendering tempo, you're playing around, the 1-mana Rockbiter or Lightning Bolt removal. So you force your opponent's turn to be kind of wasted.
Right. JJ did happen to have a proactive 1-mana play that wasn't removal, right? It was either Spirit Claws or Tunnel Trog, maybe like an Argent Squire.
Yeah.
There were some punishes, and he had one of them.
Yeah, so Strifeker wasn't really rewarded by trying to play around the Rockbiter or the Lightning Bolt, and instead kind of punished was JJ was able to develop the Spirit Claws with that extra mana.
Druid of the Claws looking really good, coming down with charge. Either Mana Tide or Tunnel Trog. My first thought was Mana Tide. Probably Mana Tide.
Yeah, probably Mana Tides. You don't really want to let your opponent draw a lot of cards. We've seen the way that this Druid deck wins isn't by killing their opponent usually. Most of the time, we've seen them just grind Shaman out. When it got its win against Shaman last time, it just took Shaman till Shaman basically had no cards left and then was able to barely win at the end of the game there by getting massive value out of massive value out of Menagerie Wardens and Onyxia, just huge high value minions.
So do we storm this or?
I don't hate the storm. Lowers the cost of your things from below as well.
Upgrade that weapon.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the Injured Paladin, right? Not quite. It's a really good card, but not in this situation.
Yeah, I'm not quite going to get the job done. And Onyxia, a little slow for the board. Yeah, Stranglethorn Tiger, though, does ensure up some trades. You're able to, slow down the death.
It gives him a good chance. Like, if he draws Menagerie Warden, he might be back in the game. Right now, he's looking pretty wrecked. Even with Menagerie Warden, it's really tough here.
Yeah, it's still really tough. That's scary when a free 5/5 is pretty tough to come back from. Ooh,
that's good too.
Yeah,
it's an Azure Drake, a Finley. Oh no, the Finley's already used. Yeah, just an Azure Drake and a Beast.
Yeah, he's getting close to the Azure Drake swipe mana levels, and that is
not the best beast.
Pretty important turn to be on.
That's a good
point. Not that wrecked, but
Lightning Bolt for 4 and Weapon 3.
I think you want to be getting the Thunder Bluff down. He's got 7 mana, right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't hate trading the Tunnel Trog, trading your face just to get Thunder Bluff hero power down. Just start getting that Totem Pain train ready, but...
What if we Hex, Flame Tongue, and Hero Power? That's
okay, and just set up all the totems to then be able to use the Thunder Bluff the following turn. Yeah, is that setting up lethal too? That might be I think that is setting up lethal, yeah.
It's really strong. Like, you're way ahead, you're pushing damage, and Druid doesn't really have recovery tools for this.
Oh, yeah.
There's no Drake Innervate Swipe.
Yeah, that definitely a better play. Definitely a better play.
There is Wrath plus 6 mana. That Wrath's a great pickup. Deal with that Flame Tongue. But it's probably not enough, huh?
It doesn't appear to be enough, no. He's going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, there's the Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, 13 damage with the Lightning Bolt. So,
2-0 JJ, right?
2-0 JJ, able to take it on the back of Shaman. Shaman's just been the most successful deck this tournament.
Yep.
You know, it hasn't been banned too much. Only half of the players brought it, but it's had 1 loss throughout the entire course of the tournament. It's just been an absolute phenomenal deck for the players, and this Druid deck has been doing great for Strife Crow against all of the control-y decks, but against the Smork line from Super JJ, which, you know, he's the only player that took this approach, it's just wasn't able to win the board over.
Yeah, so JJ still has to win with Hunter, which we kind of expect to maybe be his weakest deck.
Yeah, it was either Hunter or Paladin. We've seen his Paladin struggle in some series, and then we saw his Hunter struggle in the first series, dropping 2 games before it was able to finally capitalize and get its first win. So this Hunter deck, it runs a lot of secrets.
Yeah, so if he draws the wrong parts of his deck, if he draws Secret Keeper and the 3/4 Cloaked Huntress, or if he draws secrets without those, well, could be bad. Yeah, and again, he's up against the Warlock, so it's just generally a good matchup. Like, the Warlock has a hard time dealing with Steady Shot, right?
Yeah, the Warlock from Strife Crow does have Reno Jackson, though, so it has that out. If it's able to find the Reno Jackson, you know, without Call of the Wild from the Hunter, without high mains, without anything like above 4, I don't think we've seen anything that caused more than 4 in Super JJ's deck. If Strife Crow ever finds Reno, I think Strife Crow wins. Like, I think it's just that decided on Reno, just because Super JJ's deck just doesn't have the gas to power through, you know, 60 health.
So we're coining out Toad here.
Oh yeah, get the biggest minion out. There's no Dark Bomb in the format.
Well, the one thing is, if you go with Grandma, it's better against like a Peddler.
Okay, sure.
But I mean, it's a 1-of, right? So you just go for the highest damage, dude. You're absolutely right.
Yep. And yeah, now you can get the Grandma.
Great start for JJ.
Oh yeah, just nailed the curve.
Oh wow. I mean, we can Shadow Bolt the Huge Toad, stops a lot of damage. Next turn might be Huntress with nothing. Huntress with Snipe.
Wow.
And the Snipe's actually really good against Strife Crow's plays here.
You know,
the Spellbreaker is coming down on that Grandma, right?
Ooh, he might play Doomsayer. If he plays around
still
Snipe,
gonna die to Snipe plus damage.
He play the 1/3 first and then play the Doomsayer.
Still dies to Eaglehorn Bow.
Yeah. That hurts.
Your Snipe's been pretty good this tournament.
0 mana, kill your minion. It's so powerful, and now the Houndmaster is going to come down on the Grandmother. Just a huge board, pushing so much damage so fast.
If he picks up Mortal Coil, he can clear with Hellfire. No.
Yeah, he needed like Mortal Coil into, you know, Reno there. Not able to get it. So now he's at the point where it's like Reno or bust, because there's 8 damage coming in from Super JJ's side with Eaglehorn Bow hero power.
Yep.
And the follow-up, you know, quick shot to go with it for another 8 the following turn.
We play this Abusive over the hero power, right? Because like we're probably not getting... Yeah,
seems reasonable.
It gets us closer to quick shot value, and we're probably not going to get that 2 damage out of it next turn. We're probably losing our board here.
All right, and Strife Crow needs Reno Jackson all of a sudden. Oh, no swing with the bow?
I guess he figures he has lethal anyways.
Okay, yeah. He doesn't though, right? He only has 8. I guess
he has quick shot. I mean, you're saying if he loses his board?
Yeah.
How do you lose your board? Like Netherspite Historian Shadowflame? I don't know.
Like a Netherspite Historian Shadowflame, and then suddenly
nobody does that. Come on.
Suddenly
right,
you're giving
taunt.
Strife Crow an extra chance to draw lethal. If he taunts, he's also still alive.
Better than taunt. I like the Shadowflame. What do you like?
I think the Shadowflame as well. I don't think it's going to get more value than this, but...
Jake.
And... top deck sleep. Wait, is it lethal?
I don't know, man. I don't know how to
3,
count.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow. Oh,
he can't
hero
hero
power.
power.
Beast, right?
He can't hero power, and he doesn't have a beast, so...
We can draw a card.
Yeah.
We could hit Abusive Sergeant for lethal.
It's just... And why didn't he swing with the bow the previous turn?
Yeah. Well, he was trying to beat Reno, but...
I feel like... giving them an extra draw to get it is much worse, yeah. And it gets the Reno, the punish! Oh my god! I mean, Super JJ deserved to get punished like this, right?
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Dude, we've had some sweet games this tournament.
Oh, so punished. So punished. And the Reno Jackson.
Yeah!
Oh, it feels so
JJ's
good.
face when that happens.
When misplays get punished, man. Hey, he's freezing trapping a Reno Jackson, is he? No, he's gonna kill it.
Decisions matter.
Oh man, punished so hard. But he might still be able to come through it. He might be able to fight through it. He's still got the board. It's possible.
Sylvanas Doomsayer is a pretty strong play. You take a lot of damage, though.
You do take a lot of damage, and your healing is quite limited now. Ooh, an extra 4.
Brand Refreshment Vendor.
Yeah, that's
the right path.
That's the extra 8. Holy
Sylvanas Doomsayer this turn. He lets the Doomsayer goes off to push face damage, and then you recover with Brand Refreshment Vendor.
I can see it. I can see it.
So many.
I'm just gonna go with the slower.
Siphon Doomsayer.
Siphon.
All right, safer. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh man, what if Strifego not only wins this game but actually reverse sweeps off the back of JJ not hitting with that bow to try and play around Reno? He tried to play around Reno and he played into Reno in a different manner. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. That'd be funny. Oh, yeah, that's a good play. Brand Refreshment Vendor, Dark Peddler.
I think I see the line.
Yeah, holy
You got a Peddler first. What if you find something better than Vendor? You actually could. You could hit the weapon destruction die, right? You would play that and then you could Vendor later.
Okay. That's true, yeah.
Yeah. Charger, I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
And there's a freezing trap up, right? So you can get the Vendor back and then heal for another 8.
Oh, baby. Yeah, I think JJ's had enough. Yep.
Oh, man.
Wow. What a game.
Not swinging with that bow. Cost him the game. Is it going to cost him the series, though? That's the question that we're going to find out here. Now Strifecrow has gotten through that problematic Warlock deck that was kind of the weak spot in his lineup to that Hunter. Like, the face-oriented Hunter can kind of struggle against Druid a lot of times. Face Hunter's early game, they have Grandmother. But other than that, I mean, their early game isn't much better than, Druid's early game is. So they could see themselves having some trouble there. And we saw, is it good enough against Murloc Paladin? The Murloc Paladin has a lot of draw, and Strifecrow has Ezra Drakes and stuff like that, can fill in the spots a little bit.
Keeps the Pyromancer, which I like because he has coin, and Pyro coin dealing 1 to stuff is like good on its own. You don't necessarily need equality with it.
Yeah.
See this Abusive Sergeant? That's one example of something that Pyro coin's good against.
Sure. Pyro coin is not.
Trick.
Yeah, it's not good against Cat Trick though.
Well, JJ's hand is a bit of a disaster. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't have to Pyro coin. He's thinking about coin hero power right now, but wow, he's going to. I mean, it contests the Abusive, but the thing is, you kept this Pyro like.
Well, he kept it to play as a 3/2, I think, just to contest 3/2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's the logic behind it. So you do this. This contests the 1-drop, and then your opponent plays the 2-drop, and then you contest the 2-drop with the Wild Pyromancer, right?
I didn't see that secret.
All right, there was a freezing trap, I believe.
Okay.
And we have not seen snakes the entire tournament from Super JJ, so Strifecrow goes in for the trade, no fear of the snakes, and then likely is just going to hero power in response.
Yep. Not much point going for Pyromancer.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really accomplish anything extra. I mean, maybe it saves you 2 life because the Abusive trades into it, with the development of like Animal Companion or something. So
sure, but having a Pyromancer around is like relevant.
Yeah, it's probably better to have a Pyromancer in your hand, even while you have 2, than it is to heal for 2 life, even against Face Hunter. But that's the decision going through StrifeCrow's mind right now. Is like how important is trying to force that trade, and he's going to value the 2 life over the Pyromancer in hand. I mean, he has got Ragnar's Lightlord in hand, right? So I guess that's the logic. Is every little bit of life counts. If I can get to turn 8, we win. So he's just trying to make sure he can maximize life gain, and now Super JJ is trying to figure out, do I really need to kill this Pyro? If my opponent's just throwing my Pyro out there, that means he's got no spells, right? Maybe I just go face with this Abusive Sergeant, and I don't worry about...
Maybe he's figuring out Steady Shot versus Cat Trick. Is there going to be a spell on turn 3?
Well, if there is a spell...
you need to trade. One thing is Solemn Vigil is a card.
Okay. Do you Quick Shot then?
Yeah, Quick Shot. Yeah, the Quick Shot's just correct, right?
I don't know. I think drawing a card's better, but we are going to see him go with the Cat Trick and then go face.
Right, he disagrees with everything I said.
Yeah. If a spell gets played, Super JJ is going to lose a 2-1, but gain a 4-1 stealth. So he's gaining damage if a spell gets played with the Wild Pyromancer on the field. So I like this play.
Yeah, he's kind of baiting the Solemn Vigil, right? He's like, yeah, go ahead, trade Solemn Vigil. I'll take a Cat. He would love to get a Cat Trick going.
Yeah, so if StrifeCrow did have a Solemn Vigil here, then...
he does need a Cat Trick to trigger before he can draw off Quick Shot, and he would love to draw off Quick Shot because his hand is so, like, empty.
All right. StrifeCrow now knows it's most likely Cat Trick. He checked, for Freezing Trap on the first one, and then he played the minion from the hand instead of hero powering to test around Snipe. And he has realized that it's not Snipe, so it is most likely, Explosive or Cat Trick. Those are kind of the 2 secrets that we've seen Super JJ's deck have that he hasn't tested for. So he's going to be aware of it. And the question is, what do you do against it? Draw
for StrifeCrow, an extra heal.
Oh, yeah.
True Silver clear, turn 5, maybe Kodo his guy, turn 6 Ivory Knight, which is a heal, turn 7, taunt up with Curator, turn 8, Lightlord, I win the game.
I like it. I dig it.
Although, the Lightlord might not win the game. Like, maybe Curator has damage on it and survives, and the Rag heals the Curator, and that gives JJ the time he needs to burn out StrifeCrow.
Could be. I'm liking StrifeCrow's spot right now. He's clearing the board here with his Kodo and taking care of business. I don't think you attack with the 1/1. You don't want to activate Explosive Trap and give your opponent bow charges to hit you in the face. You don't need to attack them ever this game to win, right?
Yeah, just play Rag and let him concede.
Yep, exactly. So taking the patient route. Second Snipe gets played. It's a good timing for Snipe, able to pick off an Ivory Knight, but...
I think it's the first Snipe this game.
It is the first Snipe this game. Yeah, and coming down perfectly to...
Nailed it!
Yeah. Ooh, enter the Coliseum, a 6-mana card for StrifeCrow. Yeah, heal for 6 is insane, though. It's like almost a heal bot, yeah. Holy smokes.
So now you could maybe proc an Explosive Trap, but you take 2 extra damage. Like, why do it?
Yeah, and you get all of your minions damaged for the Ragnar's Lightlord. You got to prioritize... I didn't see what secret that was, but you got to prioritize making sure none of your minions are damaged so that Ragnar's the Lightlord can go off on your face.
Okay. Man, this double Cat Trick draw is so awkward with that Quick Shot. Disaster of a draw for JJ. It's a Freezing Trap that is drawn that turn.
All right, so Freezing Trap and Cat Trick are the secrets displayed. So gets the taunt up.
Doesn't really matter what these cards are.
Nope, it's just
a 4/6 taunt, curves into Rag.
Oh, Super JJ gonna start swinging with the bow. Removes the taunt. Hurt. You gotta kill it eventually. And the taunt's been removed, and now we are going to see, he's smiling. Super JJ knows the Lightlord comes down, he's screwed, and here it comes. And that is probably going to close this one. Oh, maybe you go with Tyrion first.
Do whatever. I like healing for 8. That's a good amount.
It is a nice amount. Just while you can guarantee it, might as well, right? Like Tyrion's always going to have taunt. Ragnar's Lightlord only sometimes heals for 8.
Yeah, JJ's done here. I don't think he's going to play another turn.
Yeah, no. And that mistake from the previous game, allowing StrifeCrow to get that 1 extra draw towards the Reno, really costly for JJ, as now the series is tied 2-2, going into Game 5 of the finals to decide who's going to be the champion of Batstone. And
so beautiful, man.
It's
like Druid. It was going to be a 3-0 blowout, but 1 decision, and all of a sudden going to Game 5.
Druid versus Hunter. Can StrifeCrow win with a no Innervate, no Fandral, no Yogg Druid?
So far, no. JJ's hand's looking stellar.
It is looking really good. Double. He's just missing.
It's getting a little bit awkward, but man, he's got a 1-2-3 curve that's really solid.
Mm-hmm. And
Strife's got a pass 2-3-4 curve that looks significantly less solid.
Yeah,
it's not what he needed. He missed this one. That's a big deal. He's not going to have Innervate to catch up.
Oh man! And
the Snipe's a huge pickup for the Cloaked Huntress. Finley, 1 turn too late. If he had that on turn 1, this would be a completely different ball game. He'd be beating up your card. But now your card. Yeah. So do you Hero Power instead of the?
No, I think you gotta play the Aspirin.
Gotta go for it. I agree. Tempo matchup.
Yeah, you have a higher.
Maybe he doesn't have the bow.
As long as you can like get on board or try and get ahead on board, I think you'll be in a position where you can win. But it's not looking great right now.
Yeah. The 2-5's gonna do some work in recovering. Like that's.
Yeah. I mean,
could Hero Power and Finley.
I don't like that.
Seems worse, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just the 2-5, and Super JJ's curve is so strong. He's gonna have Cloaked Huntress into Secret, and
it's a snipe that's gonna proc like it's gonna kill a 4-mana play while procking a bow charge. Like it's just game over.
Oh, he does go for the Finley, looking for the Mage Hero Power, I guess, to avoid some damage here.
He
Finley'd first.
Yeah. Could have Hero Powered first.
Maybe he's not Hero Powered. Maybe he's playing the 2-drop this turn then. You know, if he gets Mage, maybe he goes for the Hero Power. But if he doesn't, just go for the minion.
Smart life. So I guess the idea is the Finley's going to trade with that Firebat next turn. This way he gets the tempo out of 3-2.
Yeah, he's not expecting Super JJ to swing with the bow, right? So if his Super JJ holds on to the bow, then this is really good with it for Strifecrow because he can use that Finley, like you said, to make that trade. Now the Snipe has been played, which just destroys Savage Combatant. Holy smokes. 0 mana kill your 4-mana card is just absolutely insane.
Gain a bow charge.
Yeah, and gain a bow charge on top of that.
That's one of the coolest things about Snipe is that people will try to play around your Hunter Secrets to avoid giving you bow charges, but then they don't play around the Snipe, right? They'll be like skipping attacks with the taunt up or whatever, but Snipe gets them.
Yeah.
All right, this chest's freezing.
So,
nice juggle.
So it's either Cat Trick, Snipe, or Explosive. Those are the secrets.
He's really hoping for Cat Trick.
Yeah. He's going for the Mana Crystal.
Yeah, sets up for Savage Combatant. Played around Snipe as best he could, I think.
Yeah. So he's going to be able to use Savage Combatant on following turns to help him clear that 3-4 if he needs it. Savage Combatant plus Hero Power to get the job done.
Did we just hit him in the face?
Well, then you can't kill the 3-4. I think he's playing to Onyxia right now, right?
Well, next turn he has... Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking he had Druid Hero Power still. My bad.
No, yeah, it's only 2 damage, so he needs to save the 3-2 to be able to make that trade. And he's just trying to like figure out some way to live to Onyxia. He's ramped up closer to it. He's playing super defensively with his stealths to try and guarantee good trades for himself. But it's still going to be really hard to live to Onyxia. He's playing against Face Hunter, and you're getting shreked. And then when you finally do play Onyxia, they're just going to unleash and kill you, right?
I don't think you're going to make it to Onyxia.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. He may need to kind of change his game plan then if Onyxia is not in the cards for him. So then what's the alternative game plan to trying to play to Onyxia? You just flood the board and go face?
The Steady Shot's kind of an unfortunate Hero Power choice for how this game's playing out.
Well, yeah, his other choices were Rogue and Life Tap, though, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Rogue would work out better here, right? Like,
yeah, well, what he really needed was heal or armor up. Those would have been spectacular Hero Powers to have.
Yeah.
Because then you just kill Strifecrow's minions and then armor up your way out of the danger.
Right. Yeah, he kind of bricked that one. Unlucky Finley.
Yeah, now he's going to Savage Combat and Hero Power trade off the Fiery Bat.
Ideal sequencing here to minimize the impact of that Fiery Bat's Death Rattle. He's trying to hit his 3-2 stealth here, so it just does literally nothing. Lucky.
He avoids the face damage, but sets up the trade with the Eagle Horn bow for Super JJ, so You said ideal sequencing, but is one face damage better than your opponent? Like being able to kill it with the bow? I think you'd rather have 1 damage on your face than allow your Savage Combatant just to die to the bow like that.
But he needed the Savage Combatant to kill the Fiery Bat, right?
He could have taken an additional damage by trading the Finley into the Fiery Bat and then weaponing down the other guy, right? So you have a 50-50 that the Fiery Bat juggle goes on the 3-2, and then you play your guy Hero Power, and then you can swing into the...
You're like definitely taking extra damage because you're face tanking 3 instead of 2.
Mm-hmm. But you make sure
that
the
you
guy
avoid the potential 1 on the Savage Combatant.
And did JJ just not swing with the bow again with the second bow in hand?
And he's mad at himself about it, you can see.
Yeah, he's really upset about that. That's going to be funny if that ends up costing him the game again. Suddenly, like, Strifecrow draws the Curator and stabilizes. And
yeah.
He's only got 9 damage now instead of 12. So yeah, Super JJ would have had lethal. Explosive Trap is going to give him 1 damage off lethal.
It'll work. Like, Druid's just not going to heal. Doesn't have a taunt.
Doesn't have a taunt. So now, since he's... Is there any way for Strifecrow to set up lethal off the back of Druid of the Claw? Druid of the Claw with Roar in charge is 6, 7, 8.
I mean, there's a theoretical universe where he sets up lethal, but JJ just trades a bit, right?
Well, maybe the trading a bit is
enough.
Is enough. It's probably not.
It's very optimistic.
Well, let's say he picks up. Druid
God bless him for trying.
So let's see. The 1/1 goes into the 5/1, and then he picks up. He picks up Druid of the Claw. He's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So if JJ does not trade into the 5/2, and Strifecrow picks up Druid of the Claw, Strifecrow can win this game. But Super JJ is obviously counting that.
You could also trade into the 2/3, right?
Yeah, he could also trade into the 2/3 and be fine. He's just got to trade something. Yeah.
I think he'll figure it out, because this is...
Which then means Strifecrow could draw Curator, and if he draws Curator, he has the taunt and isn't dead to over-the-top damage, so could survive that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's still outs now. Now Strifecrow needs to hit Curator, or he's double Roar enough. No. 4, 8, 9, 10, 15. He's 2 damage off lethal. So close.
Dang, man.
Job's done. Well played.
That's a cool tournament.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, so it looks like Super JJ is going to be our champion. Just barely, almost got reversed swept for his misplay of not swinging the Eagle Horn bow. But, aside from that sort of little, lapse of judgment, most of the time Super JJ had really consistent plays. And he was able to predict the metagame, which is... the biggest challenge.
That was the important thing, yeah. He took a different lineup than everyone else did, and it was a logical lineup. Like, you could see from the beginning, it seemed like it was going to be favored against what other people were doing.
Yeah, so that's why I really like these sort of formats, these sort of weird things, because, there's emphasis on, having the right play, doing good plays, but it's also about trying to figure out what's the best deck going to be. And it's not the same thing as in, Standard, when you play a Standard tournament. It's the same thing every week. It doesn't change. There's no new cards. There's no new anything. It's the same thing every time. Those are the best decks. Let's perfect those and play those the best. Now, all of a sudden, well, I guess for this tournament, Aggro Paladin was the best deck. So it just adds variation, and you have to try and think critically about what cards other people are going to play. And Super JJ was able to identify that Murloc Paladin was going to be something people were playing, and slow control decks, and find ways that were able to target it quite consistently. And didn't over-target it. You can look at some other players that also tried to target Murloc Paladin, like Chalky, for example. He brought one of the coolest decks in the tournament with the anti-Murloc Paladin, with a Vilefit Inquisitor to make extra Murlocs and all these other crazy wonky stuff. But he wasn't able to get... It worked great in the one matchup, but wasn't able to be consistent enough overall to really, bring things together. And also the Priest was letting a lot of players down that they were trying to use to target with. But, yeah. Anyway, we have Super JJ here with us. We're going to try and get an interview. Super JJ, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Congrats on the win.
Congrats, man. How does it feel to be Batstone #1 Grand Champion?
It feels kind of good, but I'm so tired. I played so bad in the last games. No, I'm actually like I'm really sad about it because I have a flight to catch in 5 hours.
Oh, okay. For DreamHack, is that where you're going to?
Yeah. I'm
okay, sure. What did you think of the format? What did you think of card bans? Was it fun? Give me your whole breakdown as a player.
So I really like this is the Hearthstone I started to play and love. Like you have something to predict on. You don't like the Yogg-Saron swings, the Tuskar swings. Like you see, Shaman is good without this card. It's good without the card. It's a great class. You have to think it's a super good class, man.
Yeah.
And like why are we missing these cards? Nobody is missing them, right? So it's so great without them.
There you go.
So I have a question for you about like your tournament preparation. Like, what were you expecting other players to bring, and like, how did you come to your lineup?
Yeah, like I'm the big evil guy, right? I expect everyone wants to have fun now with banned cards, and I abuse the format. Like everyone's gonna hate me, right?
No, good decision making. I liked it. I was like, yeah, this JJ guy's got a good chance to win.
Yeah, I played like this. This was the Hunter. I played very sloppy. Before I played like fine, but I played very sloppy. Like. I don't want to accuse myself, but I'm like awake since like 20 hours, so kind of Like, but I really wanted to join this tournament because I really love the community and I really want to make Hearthstone great again, right?
There we go. That's the goal from everybody's side. Yeah, just trying to make Hearthstone great again. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody. Thanks. Shout out again to all of the players that played this with a $0 prize pool. You guys are all amazing. Like everyone that volunteered their time to help make this production happen, help try and allow card bans to be a thing. Hopefully now we've set the precedents that card bans can exist, that Blizzard may be more open to it in the future of allowing card bans to happen, which would be really cool because previous to this, they shut down every tournament that tried to do it. So pretty sweet that we're trying to make some progress there on that front. Appreciate all the players for donating their time. We got production happening for free, so shout out to Elephino for producing the tournament for free. Shout out to Ed, my graphics guy, did a great job making all the Batstone graphics and all the intros, did all of that stuff for free. So it's like so many people, so many of my friends that I've helped out in the past that came out and did a solid for me on this. And I appreciate all of them so much. I appreciate the viewers for tuning in. Sorry if there's any sort of hiccups. I know there's some audio issues in the beginning. It's a bunch of unpaid people, on a Wednesday, taking a day off work to have some fun playing Hearthstone. So, what do you expect? This is what you get.
I think it was pretty good. Sweet. We had some really good moments.
We had some crazy moments. There's like some definite highlight plays. The 1 health comeback comes to mind. We had the faceless, the 3/6 taunt in the Raging Worgen game by Osaka to then win the game later on while playing around a 20 damage combo that had like 10% chance of being there, but he just had the read. So there's some really quality games. I really enjoyed it, and I want to give a shout out to Cloud9. That's the team I'm on, for their support in this endeavor. And do you have any shout outs that you'd like to make, Zalay?
Shout out to Luminosity, pretty sweet team. And check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZalayHS, ZALAEHS. And
then Super JJ, got any shout outs you'd like to give as your final words as the Batstone #1 grand champion?
I want to give a shout out to you and Zalay, like for a great casting. I really like and for you as organizing this tournament. I think it's a really good initiative and it's what the community needs. That is for me the most important part. Also to my team, Complexity, for supporting me and my teammates. And awesome. Shout out to the community. You're great, guys. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, that's going to be the end of the stream. Take care, guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll look to be, Batstone #2 coming soon.
Heck yeah.